Hello everyone, welcome to Talks with Manny, where I am your host Manny, and in today's video we'll be talking about episode 66 of Boruto. Now before we get into this episode, as always, there will be heavy spoilers to this episode and perhaps the series as a whole, so if you want to be spoiler free and watch the series from the beginning to end, maybe hop off this video considering it is the latest episode and it will be spoiled. Okay, so let's get into it. The episode starts off with Boruto and company coming back and having a small moment where everyone is happy to see each other, minus Shinki because he's just emotionless, which is I guess what he took from having Gaara as a father, even though Gaara isn't nearly as bad as he used to be. This episode mostly focuses on relief and construction efforts after the attack by the Otatsuki, so it's mostly just Boruto going around and apologizing for cheating during the Chunin exam, so if you're looking for high-paced action, this is not the episode to watch. The reason this episode doesn't have as much action is because obviously it is an aftermath of the effects of episode 65, which was the climax to the arc. So, if you want some really badass fight scenes and probably see the best episode in Boruto to date, watch episode 65. Trust me. But anyway, let's get back on topic. Naruto starts working through all the piles in his office to be able to take time off with his family, which is nice because I think that's the first time he's actually tried to do that. Boruto and Shikadai have an awkward conversation at first, but they end up moving past Boruto's mistake and they become friends again, which is also nice. Boruto and Shikadai begin their true ninja way. Shikadai will be his own man regardless of what his parents or clan have to say about it, while Boruto decides to become stronger than his father and go farther than Naruto could ever imagine. Big words. Shinki was actually pretty peeved at Boruto, and he remarks that Boruto should have been nothing more than a reckless low-level ninja, but he went with the 5 Kage against an enemy he didn't stand a chance against, and then even won the fight. Gaara goes dad mode and is just like, no, Shinki, just calm down. Trust me, you're both walking 2 different paths. You have to realize that yours is going to be endless just like his. Stop looking at him walking. Start walking by yourself. Or something like that. Honestly, it's kind of confusing. Shortly after that, Boruto and Sasuke start talking about the events that happened and how it definitely wasn't normal. Sasuke even states that he was the only one that even knew what had happened because of his Rinnegan. So him and Boruto are the only ones with knowledge of what happened after the fight. Which kind of makes sense considering they're student and pupil and they both have weird eyeballs. But I'm pretty sure Sasuke already told Naruto about it, and then I'm sure Naruto told the other Kage about it. So everyone who needs to know probably already knows. Sasuke then says to come to him about anything that seems unusual, and that Boruto should keep the headband Sasuke gave him as proof of his studentship. Boruto gets all wide-eyed and rosy-cheeked, and he's all excited, and he's like, Sasuke, teach me more shit when you come back. And he's like, sure, master the shit I already told you. He's like, yeah, no doubt about it. Kind of thing, yeah, so great. After Boruto leaves all excited, Sasuke and Sarada have a mini nice talk, and then he goes to help Sarada train, and they both seem happy, which is nice to see as always, and Sasuke is actually becoming one of my more favorite characters in the series because of all of his interactions with the characters like Boruto, Sarada, Naruto. They just have some really nice interactions with Sasuke, and I feel like they're actually growing his character pretty well, you know? He's actually growing as what you'd expect him to grow as, and he is spending more time with his family, which is really nice to see considering Sarada and Sasuke had that really big arc in the middle of the show, like around the 20 episode range-ish. And it was pretty important, their relationship, so I'm glad that they're actually giving it some much-needed love, basically. Mitsuki meets his parent, Orochimaru, where he talks about Boruto being the sun and how he doesn't care what happens to anyone or him as long as the sun's light doesn't fade, which is kind of creepy in the way that he talks about it. I have a small idea as to what Boruto being the sun actually means, but I don't want to speculate, so I'll just wait until it's fully confirmed in the manga/anime. Later in the episode, Boruto tells Sarada and Mitsuki about his real goal, and how it's not to be Hokage, but to be a shinobi like Sasuke, telling Sarada that he'll be her right-hand man and keep her safe when she becomes Hokage. This, of course, makes Sarada's face redder than frickin' Momo in the Boruto movie, and obviously shows that she harbors some feelings for Boruto. At first, I was a little annoyed with this scene in the manga, in the movie, and now the anime, but after a couple months and let it set in, I understand why they're setting up possible romances so early into the series. It's to try and avoid the shitstorm that happened at the end of Naruto Shippuden. With Hinata and Naruto, Sasuke and Sakura, the fanbase had heated debates for months, and they still do even today, which is a tiny bit sad, but I can get why they're doing it. They're just trying to avoid any weird out of nowhere. Hey, look, they're with each other now. Yay, kids. I get it. Finally, near the end of the episode, the scene where Naruto finally makes it home after work and brings a cake for both Himawari and Boruto, as he missed their birthdays previously, and that scene was really, really heartwarming. I think that was a fantastic addition to the episode, and it was lacking in both the manga and the movie. So I'm kind of glad they added that in, and it really kind of set Boruto and Naruto's relationship to a different level, because after the events of the Momoshiki fight, things got a lot better at home for Boruto and Naruto. Basically, everybody in the Uzumaki family is now a little bit happier after that gigantic, terrible event where they almost died. Funny how shonens work, huh? The episode then ends with Boruto reaffirming the fact that being Hokage isn't his goal. It was his dad's story, and that his story starts now. Which is good, because we really need to make this especially clear so people aren't confused with Boruto's future aspirations when suddenly Sarada becomes Hokage instead. I really don't want to see a million posts on Reddit about why did Sarada become Hokage when Boruto's better. Yeah, so hopefully this gets into people's minds. Although, to be honest, if you didn't already kind of get a hint of this, then were you even really reading/watching the show at all? Or the manga? Oh, and when I said the episode finally ended, it turns out I was wrong, because upon rewatching the episode, there was actually a small scene right before the episode preview, where we have Urashiki, who wasn't present during Momo's fight with Boruto and company, for some odd reason, I guess. And he's just sitting there, and he states that Toneri was actually observing Boruto, and that Boruto could pose a threat to the Otatsuki in the future. But the way that he implies it kind of means that he won't have any part in it, or it's like as if he's just an observer. That's just a minor speculation, but I think the fact that he wasn't even present during the Momoshiki fight lends credence to my idea, if you will. But of course this isn't really stated anywhere, so I could be totally wrong or totally right. Hopefully I'm right, but you never know with these kind of things. That about wraps up my thoughts on today's episode. So, that's all for today, guys. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it, dislike if you didn't like it, and maybe leave me some constructive criticism down in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more content like this in the future. Peace out, guys.